Hi Taurus, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective reading for your self-reflection. Now, as this is a collective reading, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I apologise for not recording anything last week. I had a bereavement and I wasn't really feeling into it. So my apologies for last week. Okay, let's get into your reading. Now, if you like what you hear from me, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me, then don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you press that notification bell, it will let others know when I do post new content. So let's get into your reading, Taurus. Now, as always, it is collective. So not everything will resonate. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if you don't find any messages in this, please check your other placements and you're likely to find a message in there. Okay, so your overall energy then, we have the sun in the reverse. Now that's suggesting to me that you're not particularly feeling very happy at the moment. You feel like happiness is not something that you are currently obtaining, and that it will, you're hopeful that it will come in future, but you are very much feeling like you don't have it at this point in time. You potentially don't really have clarity on a situation as well, and you're just not feeling with it at the moment. So what's keeping you stuck? We have a Page of Cups in the reverse. So that's suggesting to me very much that you're not really feeling your feelings. You might not know what you want. You might not know what's making you, what you want to put your emotions into. You may very much be not trusting your feelings as well. And it's got you in, it's like you don't want to move forward. Not so much that you don't want to move forward, but you don't want to, it's like you don't want to start anything new with anyone. You don't want to make any new friends. You don't want to get emotionally involved with anyone or anything at the moment. You're kind of like, you're not so much happy being on your own, but you're not emotionally fulfilled. You don't want anything emotional. Maybe you've gone into an emotional overload. So we have a Six of Wands. So it is suggesting that you want to be popular. You want to be recognised for your efforts. You want success. And then we have the Queen of Wands, but you're not confident about it. So you don't feel confident. You potentially are not... You're lacking a lot of self-worth. You've got no... It's like you've got no self-confidence. You don't feel like you're worthy of things. You potentially are feeling very... You could be talking to yourself really horrible. The Queen of Wands can be very vindictive and can be very nasty. This is telling me that you're doing that to yourself, and that you're very much being really negative to yourself. You want to have success, but you're talking yourself out of it. You're talking yourself down, telling yourself that you don't deserve it. And that's where this Page of Cups is coming in, because you don't feel like you deserve anything, but you want a brand new start. You want abundance. You want something that's stable, something that will fill you up. You want to have a new start, but you just don't have the confidence to go forward towards it. Your self-worth is completely shot. Now, what healing's available? We have a Knight of Wands in the reverse. So slowing down, taking time to yourself, realising that, okay, you might not have the energy to do things you want at the moment. The Knight of Wands has still knows what he wants. He's just not got the energy to go for it. So very much going slow. Let's get some clarification on that. So avoiding conflict and drama with this Five of Wands. So it could be that you were in a lot of conflict previously. This is you needing to avoid it. Now, this to me would suggest avoiding it, especially with yourself. Because if this is you being really nasty to yourself, you need to avoid it. Now, it could be that this Queen of Wands is somebody in your energy that is putting you down and it's making you feel really bad and making you disengage from your emotions. You could potentially have been in a relationship with them, and this is very much saying that it's okay to lose the passion and the energy from that and move away from conflict. But I'm going to say this is more you, because this is all about your self-reflection. I mean, like I say, it could very well be somebody that's influencing how you're reflecting on yourself or how you're looking at yourself, and you need to walk away from them. We also have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So the Queen of Swords in the reverse is somebody that can't communicate very well. So something that will help you is learning to communicate. If you're somebody that your communication skills are not great, then dealing with your communication will be significantly better. Now, your communication, this could be why there might be conflict around you. It could be down to miscommunication, things not being spoken that need to be spoken. The Queen of Swords is she can be very cutting and cold, and when she talks, it can be quite harsh. But she means it in the best ways. It could be that, again, it could be the same person. It could be that you're in conflict with this person and they say things that are very cruel and cold, but where the Queen of Wands is vindictive with what she's saying and she's making stuff up to make issues, the Queen of Swords is telling the truth, but in a harsh way. So I don't think it is. I think this is more, I think these two are different people. That's if they are even people. Like I say, it could just be you. But I'm beginning to question whether it is you and whether they are different. One of them could be you and one of them could be somebody else. But as daft as it sounds, if this is all you, it could very much be that you need to have a word with yourself. And it's going to be a very harsh word with yourself, to tell yourself to stop making crap up about yourself and gain self-worth, so that you stop telling yourself that you're useless and you're not good enough and you're not going to be able to do anything, and realising actually you can. You've got to tell yourself off. It's like telling yourself, stop making stuff up about yourself. You're only hurting yourself. But, it might be upsetting to do it that way to yourself. And that's where the conflict comes from. It's all inner conflict, inner turmoil. And moving away from having that conflict. Maybe you've got part of yourself, maybe you're at war with yourself. And instead of listening to the vindictive part of yourself, listening to the honest part of yourself, even though it could be quite harsh, so that you can move out of this conflict. Because it's exhausting you. We do have a Three of Cups coming out to the side. So there is going to be some celebration, but also isolation potentially as well. So it's knowing when to celebrate and knowing when to take time to yourself. Now, do be careful with any overindulgence as well with that, because it could be a bit of a challenge. But it is suggesting to me that you do need to embrace knowing when to socialise and when to not socialise. There are people around you that can help you, but there are also some people around you that may not be the best people to listen to. So it's having that discernment to work out who to turn to and who not to turn to. Obviously, some people are going to cause conflict. So if these are two different people, you could have one of them that is causing you a lot of vindictive, or there could be somebody that's very vindictive in your energy that lies a lot, causes lots of issues. And you could have a Queen of Swords in your energy that is trying to tell you the truth and what's best, trying to help you with something that's better for you. But you're confused and you don't know which one to listen to. So it's having that discernment of, if you can't trust people, or if you can't have that success with somebody, is it better off doing it on your own? But then if it's something that is all internal, do you need to reach out for help from other people? It's very much a bit of a decision for you. So obviously everybody's going to be different. It could even be that you may need to seek guidance from a counsellor potentially. It could be that you might need to, it could be that you turn to friends or family if you've got friends and family that are able to help, or it could just be, like I say, turn into a counsellor, a psychiatrist, a professional for a bit of help and a bit of guidance. But there is help out there from other people. It's just finding the right people. But definitely making sure that you keep out of conflict and that you see things for what they are and you understand what is true and not what lies are. Now, a challenge that is going to face you while you're doing this is the Two of Pentacles. And that's in the reverse. So very much finding balance. You could be overdoing things. You could be juggling too much. You could be, maybe you're working too much. You could be overthinking too much. You could just be doing too much in general. You've not got a particularly healthy balance. Some people will overwork themselves when they don't want to deal with things that are going on at home or in their emotions. Some people will drink a lot. Some people will find other ways of doing things. It could very well be, how do I put it? Some people will find emotional outlets. Some emotional outlets can be very helpful, but sometimes people can take them to an extreme. So one good example of this is somebody that finds that actually going to the gym might help them, release that stress, that emotional anxiety, that build up. If you keep going to the gym and you end up going to the gym more than you do anything else, it's not really balancing things out. It's then taking away from your home life. It's taking away from any social life that you could have. It's taking away from self-care is great, but what about people around you that you need to be involved with as well? You end up being more neglectful of everything else, so you end up isolating yourself, and then you might feel lonely because you're always on your own. And it's like a self-perpetuating cycle of trying to make yourself happy, but then you get home and you're like, oh, I'm all lonely now, let's go back to the gym. So it's making sure that you keep your balance, maintaining that healthy balance. Like I say, some people just overwork. Some people have to do a lot of work. Some people have multiple jobs that could be extremely draining. It could simply be that there's a choice that needs to be made and you're weighing up your options, but you don't know which choice to make, but you feel like you've got limited options with regards to that choice as well. So we've got a Five of Swords coming out to clarify. So potentially feeling a little bit defeated. Maybe you were betrayed in the past, feeling defeated, and that could be why you've thrown yourself into something. The Five of Swords is very much suggesting that you need to walk away from some sort of defeat And that is a bit of a challenge. So I think that's very much what's contributing to your lack of balance. We have a 7 of Cups, so you've got a lot of options out there. And again, this can be contributing. It's going to be massively contributing to this 2 of Pentacles. You might be dipping your fingers in a lot of pies, trying to work out what it is that you want. You could be paralysed by having so many different options that you're not actually making a choice. So you could just be trying out everything. Maybe you've got 3, 4, 5 jobs. You know, you might be trying out loads of different part-time jobs to see which one's for you, but you could be exhausting yourself. You might be looking at your options of what do you do next, but maybe you're looking at, you might need to move or something, and you're looking at all these different places you could move to, but you've got that many different options of where you could go that you haven't made any decisions. It's very much, you've got so many options in front of you that you can't choose. It could be, and it's very much like I say, you could very well be trying a few of those out and it's just throwing you off balance. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So very much working out what it is that you want and going towards it. Trying not to jump to conclusions, though, is also a bit of a challenge. Sometimes the Knight of Swords can charge in that hastily. That yes, he's got a good idea of what he wants, but he goes towards it and then he can jump to a conclusion, doesn't give things enough chance to work its way out. So that could be a big challenge for you. Again, having the energy is a bit of a challenge, because here, this Knight of Wands, he's lacking energy. The Knight of Swords is somebody that's got a lot of energy. So having the energy to move forward, it in general could be a massive challenge. Now, what you need to embrace, we have the 5 of Wands to the side and we have a 10 of Swords to the side. You've got a lot of 5s out on here. If you do see reoccurring numbers all over the place, it generally means that you're on the right path. But sometimes your angels and spirit guides have a little bit of a message to give you to keep you on that right track. So if you do find that you're seeing lots of signs, synchronicities, reoccurring numbers, repeating animals all over the place, do have a look at what they mean, because sometimes there's a bit of a message, like I say, just to keep you on the right track or give you a bit of guidance. And as an example of that, I used to get, I was going through a period of time where ladybirds were everywhere. And I was even telling my mum about ladybirds being all over the place. And one landed on my shoulder as I was telling her. It was amazing. But yeah, very much seeing things all over the place that, just means you're on the right track. Sometimes you just need a bit of a nudge. What the ladybirds were there was telling me I was being protected. I was going through a rough patch at the time as well. So it was very much a message I needed to hear. But yeah, so the 5 of Wands then and the 10 of Swords, something that you need to embrace. So walking away from conflict. Realising that, yes, okay, there might be conflict around you. And it can be a bit of a challenge to walk away from it, but making sure that you're not in it, I mean, this particular 5 of Wands, he's ready to smash through that wall and just carry on going. It's not going to stop him. He's embracing it. He's ready to move forward and just smash his way through and ignore everybody around him. And that is pretty much what you need to do. We do have the 10 of Swords. Again, come out to the side. It, depending on how you look at this, he's either putting those little acupuncture swords in his back, or he could be removing them. I'm very much under the impression that they're being removed at this point in time. He's already had all the swords stuck in his back. They're currently being removed, ready so that you can move forward into something better. You're going to have that Ace of Pentacles. You're going to have that sun, that happiness. So very much embracing that they're coming out to the side because it's going to take a little bit of time. It might take a little bit extra push to get there and embrace it. But it is something that you'll be able to embrace. We have an Ace of Swords that came out. Now, it did come out in the reverse. So you may have to cut people off. But it is suggesting that you might be looking at people thinking that you can't cut them off. Maybe it could be that you're getting... Could be somebody in your family that you've having arguments with, for instance. Yes, okay, you might not be able to cut them off completely, but you can reduce your contact with them. It's also suggesting that it's okay to not have clarity on every situation. We have the High Priestess in the reverse as well. Now, she's very much telling me that you need to be keeping things to yourself. So if you are planning big moves or whatever else, don't let people know. She's very much telling you to do things secretly and make your plans and preparations secretly. And then we have a Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is very much about movement and travel. So a lot of this, where I was saying about moving house earlier, and you've got so many different areas you could move to, it could very well be that you might be moving house. The Page of Wands, like I say, he can be very much about travelling somewhere, maybe going on a holiday, relocating. He could just be something, a start of a new passionate adventure, or a new passionate phase of your life. It could be you expressing passion towards somebody, or somebody expressing passion towards you. I feel like it's more that you're going to be going into something that you feel is passionate when you go out of this Five of Wands, Ten of Swords. Very much embracing that you don't need to know everything. You know, if you keep things to yourself and then move forwards doing something that you find a bit passionate, or that you're passionate about. You know, that could be simply starting a new job that you find more fulfilling. It could very well be that you move to a new area that you've been really passionate about moving to. It could be that, I don't know, maybe you want to go travelling and work at a travel agency, or you want to go and work as a rep in a different country. It could be any number of things. But it's very much you taking steps to something that you find a lot of, or that you've got a lot of passion and a lot of drive for, and doing it on your own, I want to say, as well, not necessarily with other people. But keeping it secret. And I think the reason why you've got to keep it secret is possibly because of the conflict, because you've got so much conflict around you, so very much conflict around you. And I think if you were to do what you are planning to do and you let people know, it's going to cause more conflict, more drama, more arguments, and that's why it's hard to keep out of it. Maybe you need to let certain people know, but it's hard to. But yeah, very much suggesting that you need to embrace keeping things to yourself, because they don't need to know the truth. Not at this point in time. They'll obviously know when you're ready to let them know, when your plan's already in action and you've done and you've made the moves that you need to have that new start, to have that passion and that drive. Right, let's get you an Angel of Light card, and we'll get you some luminous pathways as well. See if there's any more messages that Spirit would like to give to you. Ooh, fun. Now that that Page of Wands can also be you having a lot of fun. So your guidance is to take time to enjoy yourself, relax and find your sense of humour. Treat things lightly. Fun brings lightness of spirit, and the most difficult situations can be eased if you see the funny side of things, so cultivate a sense of the ridiculous. How can you bring play, laughter and fun into your social life, your relationships, your work life? When you have fun, the angels rejoice, for there is nothing they love more than joy, play, humour and laughter. Your affirmation: I master my emotions. Let's get you some luminous pathways. I like this brand new deck. I thought it was really pretty, but the size of the cards is really disappointing. This is the pack. Massive, massive pack. Tiny, tiny cards. Never mind. They're still very pretty. Can we get some luminous pathways, please, Spirit, for Taurus? Thank you. Oh, you've got 4. So we've got the Herald's Call, the Rising Sun, the Eternal Knot, that's really cute, and the Healing Hands. Let's get my little book on these. I haven't learnt them all just yet, and they're not in alphabetical order, so I do apologise as I am hunting through. So the Rising Sun represents new beginnings, hope, and the dawn of new opportunities. When this card appears, it suggests a fresh start or a new chapter in life, encouraging optimism and trust in what's to come. I apologise for not being able to say encouraging. What have we got next? Okay, so the Herald's Call symbolises announcement, significant news, and the beginning of a journey. It indicates the arrival of important information or a call to action. So possibly, like we're saying, a move. The Eternal Knot represents interconnectedness, fate and destiny. It suggests a deeper understanding of life's connections and the intricate web of relationships and events in your life. And then the Healing Hands represents comfort, care and healing. It suggests a time for healing, whether physical, emotional or spiritual, and receiving or giving of care. Okay, I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Taurus. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass that message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. Good luck with your healing journey, and thank you very much for joining me.